All right, good evening. Happy Saturday night. We are halfway through the weekend. It was an awesome start to the weekend. We had clear skies, a lot of sunshine, and temperatures nice in the 70s and 80s in San Antonio. Before we get started, just want to double check audio is working A-OK this evening. Sounds awesome. If you have any questions, guys, comment down below. Join the conversation here on Ken's 5. We'll be talking about the weather, what to expect. A couple of different changes expected late next week. Not so much, in the next coming days. More cloud cover tomorrow, so not as sunny for Sunday. Still pretty warm in the 80s. And then by Thursday, as we look forward to late next week, we have a pretty good possibility, an opportunity at seeing some good soaking rain. We haven't seen that in a long time. Matter of fact, we'll show you the last time we saw some pretty good rainfall in San Antonio. Some of the history on that as well. If you had a great day, comment down below. Again, join the conversation. If you're traveling anywhere, if it's vacation time, if it's spring break for you, your friends or family, if you're traveling anywhere, if you're flying anywhere, let me know. We can always look at the weather where you're going, and we can always dive deep into detail on that as well. Outside right now, though, you can't see much because it's nighttime. Sunset was around 7:50, 7:55, so about half an hour ago, but mostly quiet and clear. And temperatures are pretty comfortable. We saw a high temperature of 85 degrees today, so there are today's numbers. If you're wondering, is that warmer than normal? Is that cooler than normal? Is that where we need to be this time of year? Average is 75, so March 22nd, this time of year, March, mid to late March, we typically stop in the mid-70s. It's not this warm. It wasn't hot by any stretch of the imagination, like it wasn't 90 or 95, but if it's 85 and then we should be stopping at 75, it was warmer than normal. Our morning low is actually right near average. Our morning low is 54 and average is 53. So it was a little chilly this morning. And I think overall through next week, we'll start to really warm up. The last couple of overnights and early mornings were pretty comfortable and chilly, but it looks like we're saying goodbye to that and hello to a new pattern that's a lot more warm and more spring-like. So more on that in a second. All right, when's the last time it rained? Big question. Everyone's asking this. Light rain. We saw a few sprinkles on March 7th earlier this month. Over a tenth of an inch of rain was back on February 11th. Over a half an inch of rain early January. And the last time we saw over 1 inch of rain in San Antonio was, man, how many months is that? So you got February, January, December. About 3.5 months ago, we saw a good soaking rain. I would consider anything above a half an inch, that's soaking rain. Obviously, it depends on where it goes, but these are numbers from the San Antonio airport, so this may vary a little bit, right, depending on where you're at. If you're on the northwest side, if you're watching from Pleasanton, Floresville, Castroville, the Hill Country, Kerrville, maybe Bulverde, it's all going to vary, but these are San Antonio numbers, and that's the last time it rained. Sprinkles was March 7th, and then the last time we got a good soaking rain, I don't consider a tenth of an inch soaking rain, maybe a quarter of an inch, was between January and early February. That's when we saw some pretty decent rain. But if you've seen the drought report in the last several weeks, matter of fact, this past Thursday it got worse. We saw the exceptional pocket of drought really expand, and it's not doing so hot. Now, we're not doing so well. Now, what we're tracking, it's not a lot of rain, but it is much needed. That's for sure. Next several days, normal. Not any big changes immediately, but by Wednesday night, Thursday next week, so about 5-6 days out from today, some decent changes. Hopefully some good soaking rains. It depends on exactly where the placement of the storm system moving through Texas will be. If it's farther north towards Dallas, we won't see much. But right now, from what all the computer models are indicating, it looks like it's going to be some pretty good rain Wednesday night and Thursday night. We'll show you the timing in a second. So that's a kind of a look at what to expect, the overall trend in the area. Right now it's 78 degrees. You can't see much, but it is clear outside. A couple of clouds overhead. Winds are a little breezy from the south at 23 miles an hour. Here's temperatures across the board, 70s and 80s. Again, average is 75, so the fact that it's 8:30, 8:45 at night, and we're still at 78 to 80 in a lot of areas, it is pretty warm. But hey, we'll take it. It's officially spring. It officially started on Thursday. That was the first day of spring. So this is the first weekend, the first Saturday of spring, and it feels appropriately, right? 70s and 80s out there. Also a little breezy if you have any late evening plans. If you're heading out tonight, just notice it's going to be a little breezy, maybe windy in downtown San Antonio. We were talking about this earlier. If you go downtown and there's just a light breeze, on the outskirts of town, But you go to downtown San Antonio, all the buildings act as a funnel, and that just makes these winds even faster. So wind speeds at the airport, 20 to 25 miles an hour. If you're going to downtown San Antonio, probably expect 30 to 35 because of the wind effect, the wind tunnel effect with all the larger buildings in downtown San Antonio. All right, Terry, let's get our rain dance going. Need the rain, absolutely. Again, last time we saw over an inch of rain back in early November. Last time we saw about a half an inch of rain was early January, so we're behind schedule. We need the rain so bad, and we have at least the window, the opportunity at seeing some rain next week, Wednesday night, Thursday. Let's hope it happens. So we're doing our rain dance for sure. Tomorrow's timeline, going to be a little warm and cloudy. So today was sunny, right? We saw highs in the mid-80s. But tomorrow, a little different. I think by the late afternoon hours, we'll see a few breaks in the sky. But aside from that, more cloud cover building in for your Sunday. So not as sunny. It'll be a little breezy. I think winds will be calming down a little bit more for tomorrow. But notice how we unfold this on future radar. Tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit of patchy fog, but look at all the cloud cover. Mid upper 60s in the area. It's going to be a warm overnight. No need for a jacket tomorrow morning. And notice through the afternoon and evening tomorrow, a few breaks in the sky between here, Bernie, Kerrville. That's about it. But most of us in the area have mostly cloudy skies in the region. So that's something to keep in mind for tomorrow. These are forecast highs, 86 in San Antonio. The hill country should be a little warmer in the lower 80s, so we'll fine-tune that for we'll fine-tune that for the 10 o'clock show. Stop stealing my... Roxy, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? No one's stealing your heels. I don't need heels. What are you talking about, Roxy? We had a perfect spring break weather. Yeah, we had highs in the 70s and lows in the 40s and 50s. Now it's becoming more like April, May type of weather, Susan, that's for sure. Now, what to expect? We were talking about that rain earlier. Now, it's coming in sometime between Wednesday night and Thursday. Watch what happens. So cloud cover builds in. I'll edit this later and show you exactly where the low is going to be. But watch what happens. Thursday afternoon, some pretty good rain moves in from the southwest. And then it'll start from Del Rio to like Laredo, the Rio Grande down to the valley, like near McAllen. And then it'll progressively move east. So I'm going to try and go through this slow, but watch what happens. So Thursday afternoon, some light to moderate rain, nothing crazy. And then Thursday evening, a couple of downpours between here, Del Rio, anywhere. I mean, I think anywhere from like the hill country to San Antonio probably needs the rain the most. Obviously, we all need it. The entire state from West Texas to the Rio Grande Valley, we're in a short supply of rain. So any kind of rain will definitely help. And then as we move into Friday morning, I'm going to try and do this. There we go. Friday morning, another little round of rain overnight, and then probably moving out sometime midday Friday, moving towards Houston. So is it going to be a lot of rain? No, but at least it's something to talk about because here's kind of an overview for the next 5 to 7 days. It's going to update. This graphic is very slow to update recently. It's because of all the content we have in our system, but it loads after like 10 or 15 seconds. Let's hope it does. Let's see what is happening. It's not loading. Give me a second, guys. It should be because the thing is on. The KML file is on. Give it a second. But anyway, I think San Antonio could be in store for like at least 1 to 2 inches of rain with localized areas between here, the hill country. Corpus Christi, the valley, could see upwards of maybe 3 to 4 inches of rain. Not everywhere, but at least we're talking about rain because, you know, these last several weeks since March started, wildfires have been a concern, and a big reason why is because of the lack of rain. The dry vegetation, it just sparks so fast, and it's because of just the soil, right? The soil's so dry, the vegetation's so dry and arid. It's a very continental air mass that's overhead, and it just hasn't been changing recently. Okay, so here is the next 5 to 7 days, right? So we'll zoom in, the legend at the very top. This is basically between Wednesday night and Friday morning. It says next 5 to 7 days, but it's not going to be an all-week thing. Matter of fact, next 3 days, dry, highs in the 70s and 80s, pretty quiet. But it's really Wednesday night and Thursday we have the opportunity at seeing this rain come to fruition, you know, materialize. And notice, and this map will change every day, so check back in with me, Roxy, Paul, Bill this upcoming week, and we'll fine-tune these details. We know that this storm system is going to move across Texas, but where exactly is it going to move? Is it going to be right over the I-35 corridor? Is it going to be mainly towards Midland and Odessa? Is it going to be mainly towards Corpus Christi in the valley? That's why, when we look at these forecast maps, they're very broad. And then as we get days in, like, Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe, we'll have a better idea of how much rain we're expecting in the area. So we'll keep you up to date here on KENS 5. But anyways, Wednesday night and Thursday next week, at least the opportunity at talking pretty good rain in the area. Okay, here's your 14-day, guys. Here's kind of what it looks like day to day. There is a chance for rain tomorrow, and I didn't talk about that. Let me actually go back. There is a small chance some of us see an isolated shower, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. And I did go through the forecast, but some models, from what I was seeing this morning and late last night, they were depicting at like a couple of isolated storms randomly, but that can happen. Let's see, so precipitation type, we're going from the HER to the graph IBM model. Let's see if it pops up with anything tomorrow afternoon. It does not. It looks pretty dry tomorrow. Oh, there it is. Well, it's like mainly tomorrow night. See how that happens? So okay, first and foremost, tomorrow's dry. It's cloudy tomorrow, highs in the 80s, but no rain tomorrow. It's really late tomorrow night into Monday morning while you're asleep. We could see 1 or 2 showers and maybe 1 or 2 isolated rumbles of thunder, maybe in a isolated lightning strike. Again, that's mainly while you're asleep. Late Sunday night into Monday morning. Just a little impulse moving in from North Texas, so we'll have to watch that very closely. Looks like we got some storms tomorrow from Kyler. Yeah, we're talking about that right now. I think most of tomorrow is dry. It's just cloudy and highs in the 80s, but we do have a possibility at seeing 1 or 2 showers and storms between the Hill Country and San Antonio. A little impulse in the upper levels from North Texas may drive down 1 or 2 showers, maybe again an isolated storm. Again, this is like tomorrow late into Monday morning, like 1, 2 a.m. So there's a chance, in the next 24 to 36 hours for some rain. Hopefully it materializes, but if not, we have a better chance for rain Wednesday night and Thursday, and that's what we're hoping for. Kyler, no red flag warnings right now from last time I checked. Thankfully, these next couple of days, while it was breezy today, it wasn't, breezy enough, gusty enough to prompt a red flag warning. That's the good news. But right now, we're not seeing any watches or warnings, no fire weather watches, no red flag warnings. With that being said, just because there's no warnings or watches for fire weather doesn't mean it's still bad out there. The vegetation's dry. The drought's exceptional. It's the worst kind of drought in our area. Matter of fact, if you look at the drought report, it expanded. There were like 1 or 2 small pockets of exceptional drought. We were extreme. Now it's all exceptional, which is the worst category you can get for drought. So we're watching out for the potential for a couple of showers late tomorrow night. Hopefully that'll help things out. We could definitely use some rain. Hennick, need some rain here in Cotulla to help settle the dust. Yeah, man. And, Cotulla everywhere. From Cotulla, Laredo, to the Hill Country, we're all in desperate need of some rain. And let's hope we get some Thursday. Some models depicting like 5 to 6 inches of rain. I don't think that's going to happen next week, but it's a possibility. We see a couple of soakers between Wednesday night and Friday morning. Hopefully it happens. I don't think it's going to be a ton of rain, but any rain is good rain. That's for sure. Tomorrow, 86, and I'm going to take off that rain chance. Earlier this morning and last night, it looked like it was going to come through like in the evening hours. Now it looks like it'll be mainly overnight, so I think tomorrow is just cloudy and dry. High near 86. I will take off the rain chance for tomorrow and put it to tomorrow night into Monday morning. So it'll be an overnight rain chance, as you saw on that Futurecast graphic. Will there be strong storms? Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow night, no. And Thursday, there's a possibility at some being strong, Kyler, but I think mostly just kind of scattered showers, maybe 1 or 2 downpours, maybe an isolated storm. But remember, it is spring, so we have to watch every system that sweeps through the Texas area, because with the Gulf to our southeast and the mountains to our west, Texas is in a favorable environment, especially during the springtime, to get storms going. So right now, Thursday looks to be scattered showers, maybe 1 or 2 downpours. No severe threat yet, but check back in on Monday and Tuesday. We'll have another update on that. There will probably be at least a maybe marginal threat of maybe a couple of storms, but right now we're too far out to give details on the severity on strong thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms. But by Monday and Tuesday, we'll definitely know more, that's for sure. All right, so that is the 14-day forecast. Mid-80s, even 90 on Tuesday. It's going to be warm and a little cooler on Wednesday thanks to a little bit of cloud cover. Good evening, Susan. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night. And then here comes a little bit of rain, guys, from 87 on Wednesday to 76 on Thursday. Depending on how much rain we get, we may be limited to the lower 70s, upper 60s. Again, in the coming days, we'll get more data in on the forecast on this next system moving through. But yeah, 91 Tuesday. Tomorrow, 86, more sunshine expected on Monday, 85. And then the best chance at rain Wednesday night late through Friday morning early. That does include Thursday. Look at the mornings. They're not very cold, right? They're not very chilly. 60s in the morning with highs in the 80s and 90s. One day in the 70s because of a little bit more rain. And then 80 on by this time next weekend, 86 Sunday. And it looks like we're heading into early April with more sunshine and highs in the 70s and 80s, and probably even warming up by the time we get to Fiesta time. So get ready for that. For more details, guys, we have our KENS 5 app. It's free. It's free. We have additional updates on the weather, on not just severe weather and hot weather, not just fire weather, but, you know, hurricane season's coming up. We'll have more updates on tropical weather season. All our Mets here at KENS 5 will be updating this daily and providing notifications, especially if we do get severe weather. It's free, so download the KENS 5 app today. Why not? It's free. 85 Monday, 91 Tuesday, best chance at rain, first chance at rain in a long time, Thursday afternoon. Hopefully that 50% goes up to 60, to 70, to 80. We're hoping for it because, man, is it dry. The drought is probably the worst it's been in a year or so. I remember last summer, like in July, we saw some pretty good rain. And then the drought backed off like late July, late summer last year, you know, in 2024. And it got better briefly. And then these last 4 to 5 months have just been nonstop, you know, dry. I mean, we've seen a couple of days of rain here and there, don't get me wrong. But overall, since pretty much September, it's been pretty dry here. And we do need rain. And hopefully on March 27th, on Thursday next week, we do get the rain.